I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I understand, but I don't get it. Hello, welcome to my Indiana Jones 5 review. This movie, it was better than I thought it was going to be. I was going to expect to hate this movie. But honestly, the first 20 minutes felt like what Indiana Jones 4 should have been, because it's with a CGI Harrison Ford face. You can kind of tell it was meant to be the fourth because it's with his old gruffy voice. That threw me off a little bit, but it was still really good opening. Like, he was punching Nazis, running on a train. It was fun. I was not bored at all, even when it cut to present day. Everyone on the review pages are saying, like, oh, that's when it gets dull, and that's when it slows down. Like, it does slow down, but, I mean, Harrison Ford's 80 years old, and, like, the action isn't as good as it used to be, but it still grasped me. There wasn't a slow moment where I thought the punches were, like, too fake. Like, how the action was supposed to be a stunt double. Like, it looked good. I was having fun. And, I mean, some say that Rey Skywalker might be better than Phoebe's character in this, what's her name? But I don't know, I kind of like Phoebe's character more than Rey. I don't know. Like, she cried, she had emotion. Rey didn't have emotion at all. She just went with the whole story. Like, sure, she was a know-it-all. I would tone down her know-it-all status a little bit. It wasn't woke. It wasn't a Mary Sue thing. Like, she had growth. Like, she grew on Indy as the journey went on. She betrayed him at first, which made me think she was going to be a bitch throughout the whole movie. But she wasn't. She helped him. On the plane scene, she helped, like, trick the Nazis into thinking she was giving them everything. But, I don't know, I want to find reasons to dislike it, but it didn't have to get made. I'll say that. It didn't have to get made, but I'm kind of glad I saw it. Because the moment when the map showed up, you know, when they travel and the plane flies around, the map, that was a great thing to add for the finale. I haven't seen that in a while. Like the red arrow and the airplane, that was great. And the CGI looked kind of iffy for some of it, but I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Even the short round character, I thought, was tolerable. Like, everyone's saying he was annoying. He was just the kid on the journey. He didn't have character growth or anything, but he was there. He was there in the movie. I thought he was funny. I don't know, like, he didn't need to be there. Like, I'll say that, he didn't need to be there, but since he was there, I enjoyed it. Like, there's this one scene where he's underwater with a bad guy, and he ties him to the, chain. I'm like, alright, you're clever, I'll dig it. I thought it was gonna be a Kathleen Kennedy shit show on, like, elderly white people, but it wasn't. Indiana Jones loses his best friend, and that's why he's depressed. I would be depressed too. I'd be like, turn the music down. Ah. Like, I would do that too. Like, I don't know. He was still Indy. Like, Jack Sparrow in Pirates 5 wasn't Jack Sparrow. Indiana in Indiana Jones 5 was Indiana, if that makes sense. Like, he wasn't drunk off his ass. He wasn't clumsy doing anything. They didn't make him an idiot. He was still a professor. And, even though he was old, it was still enjoyable. Like, even Harrison Ford said it himself, we had a good script. And yes, it was better than Crystal Skull. Yes. I might watch this more than Temple of Doom, to be honest. But they do mention Temple of Doom at one point, like, you didn't have to drink the blood of Kali. Well, what do you have to complain about? I'm like, okay, I'm glad they brought that up. Although the ending scene is a ride. They bring back so many old characters I forgot were in the movie. I forgot they were in the franchise, and then they were like, oh, that's the guy from the boat scene, and it's Saul, and Mariette. What they did was great, and they wrote out Shia LaBeouf's character with, like, fantastic. I mean, it could have been better, we could have seen a bit more, but maybe show him in the war or something, but, you know, for what they had to work with, they made it work. I think this is better than Crystal Skull, but not better than any of the top 3 movies. It had better CGI and better fight choreography, than some of the first few movies, because, you know, the updated... Whoever did the cinematography, hands down, that kept me hooked. Like, if there was one thing that kept me hooked, was the cinematographer. The camera angles were better than the first three. Maybe not the third one, but the first two. The camera angles were definitely better in the fights. And it wasn't dark and gloomy, so I could see everything. Mainly the first scene, because he wanted to believe it was young Harrison Ford. But other than that, I still like it. The camera work kept me hooked. Don't let anyone tell you different. The camera work in this movie kept me hooked. I was watching Jeremy's review earlier, and I can see why he doesn't like it. Because it does end abruptly. They could have done a little bit better, like, how'd they get back? What's the deal on the thing? And it literally just punches to the next scene. And I'm like, did they run out of runtime? That was weird. That almost threw me off. And I'm like, what the hell was this? I think someone in the crowd. What happened to the adventure? We were just time traveling. And they do time travel really good. It's not like, oh, we're in the 60s. And, oh, we're in Endgame. Like, it's not like that. They do it pretty good. Like, I had fear for the character whenever time travel was happening. Now, I wasn't afraid of time travel, but I was afraid of Phoebe's character taking over Indiana Jones at the end. I can gladly say that doesn't happen. There's not going to be a young person taking over for Indy. Have a spin-off if you need to. But that doesn't happen. Don't worry, Harrison is still Indiana Jones. So even after he's gone, there won't be a new guy taking over. So thank you. Thank you, Disney. I think maybe Jon Favreau stepped in and was like, Kathleen, don't do it. She was like, alright. But the callbacks were great. The villain was really good. Like, sure, he's pretty much the same as in Doctor Strange. Like, we will control time and space. I'm like, where have I heard that before? I know I've heard that before. But, other than that, I enjoyed the villain. There was this one guy with a mustache the whole time that I kind of hated. One of his followers. I'm like, you're doing nothing for the plot. Go die, you Nazi trash. Now, as a Floridian, I sympathized with Indy. Too many Nazis. But, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, tone down on her knowledge a little bit, Phoebe's character, and make the ending less abrupt. Those are my 2 notes for this movie. Music on point. They had the da-da-da-da-da-da on the train. It was great. They had perfect nostalgia moments. There is no after credit scene. I didn't stay for the full ending, but I don't know. Maybe there is one after the whole credits roll, but I didn't stay. Had to go home, get ready for work. But it was good. It was fun. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my TikTok with me as Indy in Universal. And subscribe. Until my next movie review.